quite interesting week, a week of great happenings, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And in the studio, I don't want to say the good, the bad, the ugly.
Well, in the studio, well, let me tell you some people in the studio, the hosts, wearing all blue. None other than the good, the man, the legend, CEO. Nice to have you,
Thank
CEO.
you, bro.
Exactly. Go ahead, Maria.
We are in the second week of June.
Yeah.
The year has gotten to the center. Wow, this is a good thing. Well, the vision boards that you draw, hope you've achieved your half-year plans, and I'm wishing you the best. Anyway, I am your host, Maria Nyambane Waweru. I'm so glad to be here, an author, and I run a kids magazine.
Well, Dr. C here to usher in the new month. We have offers running in Quickmart, Carrefour, and Chandarana for Samantha wines. So, welcome the new half of the year. And a message for women, which I started last week, but I want to continue. Do not feel under pressure to buy a new dress every time you're
Repeat your clothes?
Eh?
You repeat your clothes?
Yes, I repeat my clothes, and it's something that I really want women to feel comfortable about. We have to be sensitive to the environment, and these too many clothes are polluting the environment, honestly, yeah? So I'm here with a message.
Quantity.
Yeah, quality over quantity. Yes. So I think they've seen me before in this dress. Have you worn this dress before?
Yes, I must repeat clothes.
Yeah, but you know, in the celebrity world, we don't repeat. Apparently, we're not supposed to repeat clothes.
I lose the money to buy something else.
Yes, and there's a lot of young people out there thinking it's an okay thing that you cannot be seen in the same dress.
But you know,
twice.
there are other celebrities who are given for brand promotion. Wear return, wear return. Now you're giving people pressure out here to buy clothes every week.
Yeah. So that one I'm gonna. It's a fashionable thing, by the way,
All
to be
right.
seen in the
Dr.
same dress.
C, we agree.
You agree?
Ladies out
Okay.
there, please do not be pressurized with the societal norms of buying new clothes every day.
Yes.
But let's dig into these topics today. The universities are broke. The Kenyan universities are broke. Public universities are broke. And you follow the news, you'll find that Egerton have had the longest problems in management and also in courses. Moi University, there was a time even they were ejecting their VC out. The University of Nairobi, currently, there's a tussle of leadership. But the biggest problem is not the leadership. The biggest problem is in the faculties. And some faculties are almost redundant because there are no people registering. Are those courses obsolete? And what can we do to save the image of these universities and the courses and our future, the future of bright kids?
As someone who studied in the great University of Jomo Kenyatta, University of Agriculture and Technology.
There cannot be the
And
great of Jomo
I was
Kenyatta.
saying it.
There will never be.
I was
There's
saying
only
AKA Juja Boys.
no, just say Juja boys.
Yes.
Juja boys.
There's only one university. There's only one university with the article, the
Yeah.
University of Nairobi, where I studied.
Hey,
But-
me too.
but
I
now
went
here's
to
the thing.
the School of
But here's
Veterinary
the thing.
Medicine.
We
Yes.
as JQuad,
The
we
University of
identify.
Nairobi.
We identify as the
Juja boys.
Yes.
That's Juja boys.
The Juja boys.
They're Juja Boys, exactly, which has a better gate than UON. But
No.
anyway,
Where are you in top 100 universities in Africa?
yeah, I think we were 70 something. Oh no, we were lower, a little bit lower.
You see, you
But
can't
we were
even
there
remember.
somewhere.
But the top university?
Please, I will proceed with my point. I will not. One thing about universities, even all of them, is that they're slow. You know, they're slow to actually arc out new courses. They're slow to actually now shape up to the environment. Because if they don't see the necessity, for example, digital marketing should be a very major course within universities, not within other institutions out here that people go for short courses. And one thing you should actually even note is that whenever education is compromised by the public, it means it's not conforming to the needs of the society. And hence, even people are looking at it as, I have seen Simon and Simon's friend leave university with this degree. What are they doing now? What are they are they reaping the benefits of this input, of what they actually, of this knowledge that they quote unquote got from this university, and is the fee worth their stress. You know, people are actually even selling land, cattle, milk, so many things. But are they getting anything in return? And that's one thing you have to always note, that if you are going at a loss, because being honest, education is a business. It just based, the way it's even treated in this Kenya, it's a business of knowledge. We're just selling a bunch of books, and you come, teacher, oh, you have knowledge, come, you've written some other things, come here, and now we actually now extract people. What's the output? What are we getting out of this university? Are we getting people who can actually critically analyze a situation and think? Are we getting that, or are we just getting people who are just automated to repeat and regurgitate things that their parents did? That's not the thing is, we need to contextualize in which what kind of output are universities putting out there in this economy, because then are we going to maintain and be stagnant like a third world economy? Like, yeah, seriously, are you feeling like the universities are serving you? Did it serve you?
First of all, where is the school fees to pay for the university? A lot of people out here do not even have money to pay for those universities. And a lot of kids are not joining as much as the previous time would. Yeah, there are courses that may not have crowd in the job market, and but they are not scrapping them off to bring the courses that need to be taught, like the courses that we really need to see in the universities. This is another place whereby it's a political interest, or maybe by the virtue that they want to lay off a lot of people due to lack of jobs, because they're not, it's not like they're not giving the output. It's more like their output cannot be appreciated by the job market. One, they cannot be appreciated also by the fact that whatever you are offering, maybe right now, I heard somewhere people are making joke of what can be replaced by AI. Maybe right now it's being replaced by AI. Then it's not supposed to be we are scrapping off the courses. It's supposed to be how can we improve the courses in the job market, or those who have done the courses. Do they have jobs first before you scrap them off? Because we know they are useless courses in universities, not that we don't know. But I feel for the lecturers who are going to be laid off because of the virtue that this is the knowledge they had to impart. And we know in future we might need them because the world is changing.
Are they useless courses, or just maybe you think that maybe they're just not developed?
Are we talking about courses?
Yeah,
Actually, I don't think the whole idea is about courses. The whole idea is about skill. And I think this is a very important exercise, both in terms of Kenyans need to rethink about the role of education, yeah, but also it's up to the leadership to also rethink. This recalls a time when somebody came up and said, why are we even teaching music? Why are we teaching arts and crafts? Why do we have home science? And those courses were all the artistic courses were scrapped off. Now, historically, we need to understand that when the colonialists left, and Kenya having been a young country that was developing, there was a time there were many industries in Kenya. So we needed to produce a workforce that can actually go and work in those industries. Now we are at a time where we actually need to create jobs. And creating jobs, those jobs require creativity, and it requires skill. I think so that we need to be building a school for plumbers, a school for carpenters, a school for contractors. Anybody who owns a home knows how difficult it is to even just get somebody to do a roof. You know, the other day we sat a group of women and we were like, oh, even your roof. Do you know somebody? One person comes and does a shoddy job, so you need to have like 5 of them. So these are the things we need to, if you're going to become an industrialized country, we need to pay attention to the needs of now. What does Kenya need and what does the world need? We need industries. We need skills to do those jobs. We need to export our skills. And so it's just a circle like that. And people need to pay more. If it's about creating a livelihood for yourself, think about what does humanity need? Let's not underscore the importance of universities are very important. Yeah, but we all don't have to go to universities. A lot of royal people actually don't even go to formal schools. Schools, the formal education right now, in the way that it's designed, it was designed to produce, it was almost like a factory. This current schooling, it's a factory producing this kind of people to fit this kind of jobs. And I saw somebody saying that these children are learning for jobs that will not exist in the future. The future is now. These things you are taught don't exist. Those jobs don't exist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, first of all, let's, I like putting context behind things. And if you look at, first of all, there are no useless courses in the universities. There will never be. University is not for employment. And that is the biggest mistakes as Kenyans think, that you go to university to get employment. Universities are set up for research, for developing knowledge, for developing the body of knowledge, for equipping a nation with the things which you can discover, you can come up with new skills, new ideas, and propagate them. Now, that's why universities only take very few students amongst the most advanced mentally. The rest of the students, and that's why it brings us to the second point, the difference between a profession and a trade. If you want to be a trader, a profession is guided by ethics and a code. That's why you say doctors. For you to study doctorate, for you to study law, for you to study journalism, there's a proper code and ethics which guides that profession, which makes you deal with people. And that one, you go to study it in a university because you are going to impact many people. But the other courses, the plumbers go to, that's why we have the second grade of, we have the technical colleges, and which take more students for skill and for trade. So now, the universities, and the problem has been, people go to universities to get jobs. If you go to university, you must open your mind to realize that you're going there to make a change in your society. Universities are meant for change. There are very few people who go and study doctorate to do medicine. Others go pharmacy, others do law, others do. Those ones you'll have, but you cannot produce 1 million lawyers. You cannot produce 1 million doctors, because you look at your workforce and you look at the rest of this thing. Anthropology is big. People think anthropology is useless. In Kenya, people think it's useless. But if you have studied anthropology in the University of Nairobi, you can apply internationally to be employed.
I get you.
Is anthropology one of the things to be scrapped?
But there's courses where we don't have people because
oh my goodness! You know what the problem I have with that?
Yes.
Is that I see certain courses, even like history.
Yes, people think it's useless.
Now, the biggest problem, as you know, my daughter goes to an international school, and I hope no one is listening. So the other day she comes home like, oh, we have an exam, and oh, Mommy, I need you to tell me about the Battle of Agincourt. And I'm just like, what? What's Agincourt? When are we going to get to Mau Mau? When are we going to get to the point where we're going to learn what was the original name of Africa? When are we going to get to that level? So you see, some of the first world really understand why history is so important. Like, it has to be made compulsory.
Yes,
some things like even anthropology has to be made compulsory, because this is how people forget themselves. Anthropology is the study of origins.
Yes.
Yes.
I get you, and here's the thing. The only issue I have with what you just said is this. You said that university is primarily a place for you to now learn ways in which you can be a bigger impact within your society.
Yes.
Exactly. But here's the thing. You cannot be a bigger impact in your society if the knowledge that you're learning is archaic. And here's
How
what I
is
mean.
it? History can never become archaic. Origins can never become archaic.
Not history. I'm talking about even the mannerism, even you're taught even journalism. Even the mannerism that even you're taught even actuarial science. Even the mannerisms even you're taught even BBIT. You're gonna now, this needs to be contextualized within the normal context, not contextualized in the book that was written in 1995, not contextualized in the book that was written in 2002, because we're living in 2024. The problem I see a lot of situations is this. You can say the way in which universities are meant to be. That's all good. But the really is that the reason why it's not utilized is because we have not inducted new knowledge, new relevant information that will now make it seem so that now I, as Simon, seated right there in class, I am receiving this information from my anthropology teacher, from my whatever. I'm able to now see how this history or this journalism course, how I can actually implement it within my society. Not that I'm just learning theory for the sake of learning.
Can I give an example?
Yeah.
A really good example, like right now, live. There is a huge awakening about being Africa, being in Africa. Where did we come from? How come nobody was telling us this knowledge and all that? So there's people who've actually just started social media pages to just give neat bits of maybe the origin, maybe, things like that. And they have these are some of the pages with the biggest following. And I get my everyday dose of history, and I'm like, how come nobody's talking about this? So that is how it needs to be contextualized in that way. So very soon you're going to see some dollar billionaires out of just running a history page,
Which will be
on
helpful
Facebook.
in the future, even for our children.
It has to be helpful now, because if we don't know where we are coming from, do we know where we are going to, CEO?
We wouldn't know where we're going, but because people do not want to invest in their past.
Yeah.
And you see, Simon, what you're saying is what we are meant to believe. Because I will tell you, the people who teach in the universities today, they are very well equipped. It's only that the people who go to the universities, as parents, when we take our kids, we want our kid to get there and get a job. We have not, because universities for a long time was when you go to university, you come and you get a job, be employed by the government. So we believe that universities is where when you go, you get a proper job from. But things have changed. People are more qualified than the way they were before. More people are educated. You find the most educated person is selling smokies on the streets. Yeah. So university is just to open up your mind, for you to know that I might go to the campuses and I must use my brain to be creative and go to social media and be a content creator.
But here's the thing. You see what you just said? That is me expanding my mind and being creative. I can do all that without even university, and that's not what you see now. People are not applying for this because the value of it has been reduced because knowledge has been democratized to everyone.
Okay, talking of value, $3.8 million.
Sounds like good money.
It's good money.
Is it? Everybody remembers Elvis Presley. My favorite song is the trap one. We call it a trap. I can walk out.
That's your generation.
Because I love you too. You know the song?
No.
Surely you don't know.
Yes, I do.
But you know the song. Everybody knows Elvis Presley. If you don't
We know about him, yes.
If you don't know, please don't expose your. Everyone knows. Anyway, so the late Elvis Presley, his wife Lisa Marie Presley, is late. Was she the daughter? No, Lisa Marie. Yeah, the wife was called Priscilla.
The daughter, Lisa Marie, was married to Michael Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Priscilla was the wife.
Yes.
And then Lisa Marie was the daughter.
Yes, and Lisa was married to
Michael Jackson. So she's late last year. It was a heart problem. Yeah, she got a heart attack. So the daughter, Riley Kello, inherited the house. It's called Graceland, which is like everybody who is an Elvis Presley goes there. It's like a museum now. So some company came up and said that the house, or Lisa Marie had taken a $3.8 million loan, and that she had used the house as security, and now they need to pay up, and they put up the house for auction. And Riley didn't know about it. She was very surprised. So she went to court and said they checked. They were saying that that signature is a fake. And so it was a court process. So it was found that actually this company was fake. There was nothing like that. And so the process was actually stopped. Now, why am I talking about this? Because back home here, somewhere in Thome, there's this family, some goons just arrived. and started beating everybody up and saying this land belonged to our parents, and so we want you out. They started beating everybody. I think it was featured on one. I saw it online. And it just begs the question, like, how vigilant should we be? Because in the US, the court stopped this process from happening. And here, the saving grace of the family was such that, I don't know if they're out of the, but I heard the lady say that they took a loan to buy this property. So there are so many shortcuts goons are using to get hold of the property. In the case of Elvis Presley, these people are so shameless that they would want to grab a property like that. Looks like it's just not in the US, it's happening here too. Guys, what do you think about this story?
But Kenya has had the issue of land lately. It's just too much. The country is suffering. Like, there's so much demolition going on, and there's so much, this is not my land, this is not my land. Investing in real estate is becoming something so scary that people will not even be feeling like, I need to invest in real estate. The goons that came to Thome, someone just pay people to come and make someone's life miserable. Like, I'm just paying you to come and do this. Sometimes it's a malicious act out of maybe something. They always use, loans is the story the neighbors will tell people. Family wars is the story the neighbors will tell people. But in real sense, most of the time these things happen, it's because someone is just malicious and wants to do something, or a deal gone wrong, that people, maybe the house is whereby a deal gone wrong and people feel like you can't have double-crossed me and then still live in your home. In Kenya, if there's anything that needs to be stated outright and talked about, is the issue of land and property and proper. The act that they were putting on other things, they need to put it in land, because I feel like land is becoming such a huge topic to a point that lives might be lost. Because if something would have happened,
lives are already being lost
because of that.
And you can't even go to the police station because these people are working with the police.
And nowadays, police are very unreliable, but it's true. You find that you will pay, even the authority sometimes will side with the wrong person because they can be paid. We are glad that there are people like the Lisa Marie story. That one, they had not paid the court well. They did not know how to. They would have gotten away with it. But in this case, in Kenya, you can get away with things that you can maliciously get away with something, even when you know that the lives of people are at stake for it. And that is very wrong, especially because of land and property.
You know, something I would say is this. I'll keep it very simple. Corruption is very efficient. That's what you have to remember. What you have to remember, corruption is efficient. Going legal way in Kenya, it's not efficient. People will seek the most efficient way to get a job done. If it's easier for me to go the corrupt way and it's simpler, I will execute for my own selfish needs. So the most efficient way within a society is the one that's actually done. So if in a society like Kenya, the corrupt way is the most efficient way for me to actually achieve a thing, because the government has set things that, because the systems within government are not actually working, well, guess what? A normal human being will use the most efficient way to achieve a goal. If I wanted to see you go from a piece of land, my most efficient way would be indeed corruption, and even if legally I will actually be obligated, because I know legally what will happen. So you will drag me through the courts for 15 years and you'll still be where? On my land. But through corruption, what will happen? It will be efficient, thorough, and executed. So you have to always remember, the reason why corruption is actually used by many people is because it's the most efficient way to get something done. See you?
I think, and it's very sad, the land cases in, especially in Nairobi, are getting out of hand, or because of, one, we said correctly, is corruption, but also is because of our judiciary. Our judiciary has had a hand in most of these cases because they do not expedite justice the way it is anticipated and fast. And number two, the court clerks are so involved in either hiding files, switching files. The land registry is totally run by goons, that today you'll find a title which you genuinely own. Someone else has a copy of another title, and someone is going to kick you out of your house with a fake title because, one, the courts, the judges can easily agree with the lands registry, and no one will go and do the due diligence which is required. So now you are in a family, you've owned this house for 20 years, you're living here, happily you have all your documents, and you have them ready. You have your land lease, either it's 100 years, or you have a title. And all of a sudden, someone comes out of the woods, crawls out of the woods and claims to be part of this. It is a cartel, and this cartel has been targeting the Parklands area a lot.
Yes.
And they've kicked so many old Asians and their families out of those prime properties. They have been in Karen for some time. They've disturbed some of us in Eastlands. I've been in court for almost 7 years now with a person who has faked papers of my property.
And it's still ongoing.
And it's ongoing.
Not efficient.
When I go to court, when my lawyers go to court, the files disappear. Poof. The files can be found. When we leave, the file is found. So luckily enough, we've managed and complained. Now we got a proper magistrate who, we had a problem with other magistrates. We suspected that corruption and all that. And some of us do things above board. So we've presented our case, and you can see now people are chickening out. And it is a problem. The land cartel in this country, someone can come and even occupy your house and live in your house
And say this is mine.
and say this is my house.
The tenancy laws.
Yes, and kick you out. So we need to look at the tenancy laws. We need to look at how the land law is relooked into, and our judges must be also human enough to realize and set records straight, because you cannot be doing this thing of postponing cases and you know the land actually doesn't. So people are dragged in court for 10 years, then all of a sudden they still win the case, and then you don't compensate them for those 10 years equitably. So you lose a lot of revenue. But the Thome case, I think it's just a tip of the iceberg. If you own any property in this city, please take care of that property. Check with authorities. Secondly, pay all your land rates. Pay all your what you are accrued to it, so that no one will come and claim it. And also, deposit something with a bank so that you have that as a surety, because naturally, if it is co-owned with the bank, they won't come and claim it.
That's true.
That's exactly the advice I actually wanted to give, my view on this. That if you're buying a property, always, even if you have all the money, make sure you're buying it through a bank. Take some loan of sorts. And then what I've seen a lot of people do is that they leave the property just owned with the bank. There's a way the bank can do, they write off a letter and tell you that all the payments have been done, and just for maybe another 10 years, when you're in that space, you just let the bank own it for some time. It's easier for you. If you want a loan, you can get. But on the other hand, until we find a solution, the goons, these land cartels, they're actually scared of bank-owned properties. Okay. Because at the end of the day, according to the law, the bank usually has the upper hand. Yeah. And the goons will not know whether the money is owned or not. But if you are trying to hide the property from your wife or your husband, make sure somebody knows, which is that unclaimed assets.
Authority.
And unclaimed assets authorities. Sometimes banks are keeping properties. They don't know who the owners are.
It's the biggest, actually, unclaimed assets.
Yeah,
are
unclaimed assets.
Around 890 million of
Yes.
property and money.
Yes,
like that.
billion.
Just
actually.
like that.
Just like that, lying
Yeah.
around. And that's what you guys make sure you're well aware. You have been informed. That's us keeping it real for it right there. But keep it locked right here. Gotta keep it real. There's more stories coming your way.
Welcome back to Let's Be Real. I know you're enjoying the show so far, and these topics that we've talked about ensure that you're buying property with the bank. So, Simon, what do you have for us?
Well, I want to talk about some content creators we see on the bus every now and then. The guys, we call them professional hawkers, but from the Most High. And the main thing is, I want to talk about who? The pastors. Now, the many pastors we encounter every single time when we're even riding in matatus for us, the poor people. And then what happens is, when you're in the matatu, sometimes the pastors would start to come there and start preaching hope, delivering hope. There was one content creator called Alvina Gashugu. She actually even went out there, even confronted the pastor. Why do you have the right for freedom of speech? Why can I not speak up against it also at the same level? You know, why are you the one to spit saliva on all of us? We don't want to hear you, that sort of thing. Sometimes in the morning can be a headache, by the way. What? Anyway, these pastors are out here, they're selling hope, they're selling fear, also at the same time, and people are out there to receive it, all because they may just want fair. Yes, so now, just before even I say my thing, my 2 cents, what do you have to say?
Me, I have something to say on
See,
that one. Actually, this religion thing, and especially Christians, okay, I don't know why we feel we are more superior than other religions. Okay, we serve the Most High God. But I think so that it is completely wrong to just go and start imposing your religious beliefs on other people. It is the same way you could be a UDA and somebody else is ODM, and then you start preaching some things that I'm not even interested, and it's not even election season. So I think this is noise. It has to be classified as part of extreme noise that has to be banned. If you want to hear the word of God, just go to the church, take yourself there. Don't go and impose your religious beliefs on other people. It is completely wrong. The other thing that, not really related, but has to be seen in the same way, is these billboards. Yes.
Which ones?
I am busy just using the road. I just want my peace. What makes you think you have a right to erect billboards everywhere, even in front of my house? That is pollution. All these preachers, they have to be put in the same space as billboards, in the same space as people hooting, in the same space. There's so many things that I feel that the public's peace is being violated. I often feel so violated. You can't even see beautiful trees. It is the same, okay, maybe that's a different
noise
complaint.
pollution.
It is noise pollution, and noise, you can actually pollute the environment with the eyes. There's the ears. But there's pollution with the eyes, there's the pollution of smell.
Because
If
you
you
are aware
it's
that
the same
you
as,
are on a billboard somewhere.
it is the same as
point.
farting. Listen,
Yes.
actually, you know what? Preaching in a matatu is the same as going there na una nyamba. Una fart, you are farting for people. It's the same thing. That is smell, polluting the nose, polluting the ears, polluting the eyes, classified in the same space.
Okay.
Go ahead, Maria.
I don't have fare from my home to town, and I have the talent of preaching. Do I need to not travel, surely? Sometimes they're doing it to make the fare because you will give offering.
In this case, all of us can even now convert the matatus into a strip club.
Wow.
Continue, though.
That's a good one.
Continue.
That's a good one. Okay. I don't like the fact that sometimes they come and preach and then they are there scaring you or predicting things there.
That there'll be a
And the one that annoyed me once is I'm in a matatu and then someone is saying, Amsha Uyo. Okay, that was the most annoying. Stop disturbing people's peace. They don't want to hear you. But I feel for the other religions that get into that matatu and they're forced to listen to Christianity, if they were arranging themselves like all the religions will be standing there and they'll be preaching in turns, fine. But just you Who told you that all of us are going, I enjoy the word? Who told you that none of us is a pagan, by the way? So that should be stopped. It should actually be stopped. On the billboards, please,
That is noise.
Let's embrace
Imagine,
billboards.
by the way,
No,
the reason
a
why I'm
billboard near
saying
your
this,
home, I understand.
the reason why I'm saying this, try and travel like even, okay, let me just say Europe. Oh my God, it is treated as noise. You will not find those billboards everywhere. And if somebody has to run a billboard, you will pay money to run the whole country. To run, there'll be no slums.
I get you.
That is the only way you can have a billboard. It's something that is treated so...
I feel like they
I know
should be
the
on the
city
freeway.
council, not even the freeway.
But-
It has to be so
In
expensive.
estates, no.
It's a same thing.
The point
Let's
is,
see
in
what- let's
estates,
have
no.
a
But
listen.
it's superhighway, we need the
Alright.
billboards.
See you.
No, we
let's-
don't.
See what
Okay,
you
you
think.
guys, you've
Me, I
gone,
need my beautiful Nairobi.
you've gone back to billboards anyway, well and good. So let's get back to
The pastors, yes.
pastors. I think that every economy and every country has things which make it work and things which don't make it work. And this culture of us preaching in matatus has been there with us. It has been there with us. It has been there. We appreciate. And my problem, I don't have any problem whatsoever with preachers in matatus myself. I don't. Because the Bible says the kingdom of God shall be won violently. Let them do their thing.
Violently.
Yes.
Even there was a jihad.
The
So what do we
kingdom of
want
God.
other kingdoms to say?
Continue. Make your point.
So,
Make your- let him make
I'm
his
talking
point.
about
it's
the,
the
you
same
mean the
way.
jihad?
No, the Bible. Not-
Even other people can declare jihads.
I'm just saying the kingdom of God will be won violently. And that's why other people have done jihad before. The Crusaders have done it before. If you read the
Or the
Christian-
Crusaders, yes.
Yes, they have done this before. So I do not have a problem with anyone preaching in a matatu. Because if you look at where the matatus they preach in, it is selected to the certain areas they travel to. And they know those people they preach, it is either which is going to Kawangware, it's going towards Upper Hill. You will never find these preachers in a matatu towards this land, yes or wrong? You'll never find them in a matatu in Kisumu. You'll not find them in Kisii preaching. You'll not find them in Mombasa preaching. So it tells you that they have identified a niche area. It is not rampant. It is not by default. It's by design.
Simon, before
get
you
you.
say something,
Huh?
before you
It's
say
by
something,
design.
the preachers are better. There are others that are violation to humanity. Like, for example, the Rongai matatus, I cannot go with that matatu with my father. There's the ones that violate. You have screens all around and everything you're portraying is now explicit. I would rather the preachers.
So now, I was trying to say that I think this young lady just wanted to address an issue, and it's an issue which we need to debate. But remember, Kenyans have freedom of worship. It has not stated where you worship. It in our constitution, there is a freedom of worship. That's why you have crusades in every town center with the blaring music. You have music in every estate when people are praying and preaching. So what we need is to get an understanding and realize that our constitution has given us, these people, an ability to do this thing, to preach to the public and to serve their God and to serve our God. But if you do not have money, remember this problem is suffered by only a specific group of people.
Which problem?
Of who says that this is a pollution, but there are people, if you've been, and I've been in these matatus, and people gladly actually give.
Yeah.
People gladly give money.
Yeah, it's another
That is
economy.
pollution just
Fair
because.
economy.
Wait a second. Let him finish his point. There's something I
People
want to hear.
gladly
Go ahead.
give.
Uh-huh.
If you're gladly giving,
Uh-huh.
then that's the target audience for that guy.
What about the minority, the one person
Dr.
who
Sylvia,
does not
Sylvia,
want to hear?
Let me speak on their behalf for a second.
Yeah.
Have you finished? You finished your point. You're clear. Now, here's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I think it's about time, since we've been doing this preaching thing for the longest time. You said it's been going on for a while. It did not start yesterday, right?
It's not started
It did not start
yesterday.
yesterday. It's about time these preachers actually now start evolving and admit it in this way. Just because you open up a church, then you start using that preacher voice. Now, and I see you there. That voice. Who the heck told you that that's the voice you're supposed to be using in order to communicate? Get better at communicating your message as a pastor. Stop doing the same thing and now expecting now. Yeah,
They are led by the Spirit, Simon.
No, that's not spirit. That's foolishness. There's a difference between spirit and foolishness. No, don't call it a spirit, and that's foolishness. Being honest, by the way, that is not That is not the way. That is foolishness. Any pastor who shouts all the time in this tone is not led by spirit. That is led by foolishness, because they're trying to mimic the pastors that they saw who are getting a lot of actually now offering. So, step number 1, communicate more efficiently.
Communicate well.
Yes, communicate more efficiently. Not everybody actually now needs to be shouted at every single time. That is not how you communicate. You need to actually learn how to spread a message. Number 2, messages of hope and fear are not the only ways to actually communicate to people. Here's the thing. If you're able to contextualize your message in a way that I can actually see that indeed what you're saying and me, they need to actually transform my mind, and it helps me. Actually show me when I'm actually coming back from work that indeed what you're saying is now when I ever reach home, I can implement this and see it in my life, and it will better me. Not doom and gloom. Jesus is coming tomorrow. Oh, hope, you're going to become a millionaire if you actually follow Jesus. The reason why you're suffering, the reason you have cockroaches in your own house is because you are not following the plans of the Lord. No, shindwe. That is not the way. Actually communicate effectively and be a better communicator of your message, and stop executing foolishness and disturbing people's peace with your shouting, thinking that you're actually doing anything.
And actually,
So are you, is the problem, is
It's
your
not the money
problem the
directed.
communication? The problem here is that
It's the
we
means.
don't want to hear.
No, they do.
No, not everybody. I certainly, most certainly, do not want to hear, I've got my pastor, I've got my priest
Are we even sure
That's-
they are
that's
saved?
that I
why-
go to.
Are
I'm
we
not
even sure they are
interested.
saved?
But
You can
listen.
go
Are we
online.
even sure they go
Why
to
can
church?
they? Nini?
Listen.
Are we even sure that whatever
ladies,
they're...
you
It's
know-
a business, right?
You know, naturally, we cannot pass that judgment that is a business or not.
Oh, of course, it's a business.
Yeah.
We cannot.
It is a business.
I even had someone actually justifying it yesterday. You know, from the family of the Levites, who never inherited anything. They were told they'll be priests. And because they are priests, they were to eat from their priestly things.
Actually,
So-
the Bible says that.
The Bible says that, yeah.
So
But
it's
anyway,
Why do you say it's not a business?
it's not a business because
business.
no, listen. If you look at the number of people who are preaching in this, how many would they be in those buses?
Continue.
It's another economy.
I'm not going to answer that, but
It's like if you put the highest number of those preachers, they don't reach 50. The whole,
I've seen this.
because even if you go to the matatus, you'll find the same guy. He goes this way, comes this way. The same guy.
But you see, it's
In a
like the
lady.
job.
And number 2, remember that the amount of money guys give as offering, you are not forced to give. No one tells you, Maria, in that matter, to give this man money.
But they make you feel guilty anyway.
No,
by the
you're
time-
feeling guilty if he doesn't touch
By the
you.
time you...
By the time they live there, you'll feel like you're the one denying them
No,
food.
no. You do not need to feel guilty. But also what we have to understand that religion is the opium of the world, as Karl Marx said. The poorer people, by the way,
the opium of the masses.
the masses.
I keep
they
on
see-
correcting
yes,
you there.
Yes. The people,
Kidogo,
the
kidogo,
older
umepanda uba na
people,
uko na preach.
the people who live who are really, really in need of money, when they hear that voice, Simon, and he had only 20 bob remaining,
That is taking advantage of
he will
people's
give.
problems.
But for you people who have only your own cars, you can use Ubers, please, you'll have a problem with them. But if you put this contest to the other poorer people, they'll tell you hiyo ni shida ya watu ya masource.
Please, Pastor, give tithe ndio tutoe mob.
Yeah. On that
Yes,
note,
yes.
That's just, you kept it real. All right,
Yeah.
let's
We
give it
kept
real.
it real.
have we kept it real?
Yes, we
Very
have.
real.
Okay, thank you. It's been real. Good night.
See you next week, actually.
Good night.
Is there another story?
No, we're just saying that.
Because
Thank you for watching us, for keeping us on this channel, and we've had a great time. Of course, go to church, and I think some of you went to church today.
billboards.
And if you don't go to church, go to your mosque,
Yeah.
or pray to the higher deity you believe
Or
in,
watch on YouTube.
or watch on YouTube.
Or don't do anything at all.
good night, folks.